Well, hello everyone. My name is Jason with Field Level. Before I kick into gear here, I am going to allow for a couple seconds, maybe 10 seconds, while we add a couple more people and make sure that the connection's all good. If you guys would like, there are three areas on the side here: chat, questions, and people. If you guys want to go into the chat area and just say hello real fast, I'm going to write something. Make sure you guys are all here. You guys can kind of connect with each other on there as well. Over there's also the questions area. I'd love for you guys to write out questions as the night goes. But now that I see a bunch of people signing on here, this is great. So I'll start jumping into the webinar tonight. So first, I just want to welcome you guys tonight. I appreciate you guys spending some of your free time with me and Field Level, learning those 5 ways to work with your coach in recruiting. I'm going to make this as fast as possible. I talk fast, so hopefully you guys can keep up, and I'll get through this pretty quickly and we can move on. Again, write those questions in the questions area, and I'll get to those towards the end. A little personal intro about myself. I am not only just a Field Level employee, a very proud Field Level employee, but a football coach. I am in this coaching high school world like you guys are. I know some of you are athletes, some of you are parents on here, but I'm in it. I'm in the battle with you guys. I've been coaching for roughly 12 years, gotten to work at and coach for some of the best programs in the California area. CIF championships. I get to do a lot of quarterback training around the country. I also do some side work with USA Football, where I get to go around the West Coast and speak to coaches and athletes about USA Football's health and safety curriculum. But coaching is coaching, high school sports, club sports. There's a lot of similarities, and so I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight about our webinar title. I'm going to jump in here to the deck, and bear with me. There's going to be a little weird tunnel mirror thing that you guys see here. I apologize about that, but let's jump in. First, before I jump into the deck portion, I just want to say I'm glad that you parents are here with us tonight. We know at Field Level, and I know as a coach myself, I don't have children, but teenagers think they know it all, right? Many of you are probably nodding your head going, yeah, my teenager thinks they know it all. But we know at Field Level that you guys are extremely important to the entire recruiting process, and it is important for you to be part of this on Field Level with your athletes and helping and guiding them through the process as well, keeping them organized. And we have found at Field Level that athletes are roughly 2 times more able or more likely to get commitments through Field Level when their parent is involved and signed up and their information is on Field Level. So I'm glad that you guys are all on here. For those of you who are athletes are on here, I hope that you guys, even though you may not want your parents involved, I hope you guys get them on, get them dialed in, get them informed so they can help you guys along the process. We're going to go through a quick network overview. I'm going to go through some demo pieces throughout. And again, towards the end, I'm going to have a question and answer session. So go ahead and knock out those questions as you think of them in the questions area in the webinar platform here. And if I answer them throughout, great. If not, I'll answer them at the end. If I have no answer, I have no shame in admitting that, and we'll get you that answer at another point through email, or we'll touch base in another way. Also, throughout this, again, you guys have signed up through our title, which are the 5 ways for you to work with your coach. And I'm going to sprinkle those 5 ways throughout the demo. So again, they'll be coming as we go. So real quick, what is Field Level? For those of you who aren't overly knowledgeable about us, Field Level is the athletic network where coaches and athletes connect to discover, create, and pursue opportunities at the next level. For me as a coach, I remember when I learned about Field Level. It was an impactful moment for me as a coach, and what has transitioned into a job at a company that I'm really passionate about. I was working at a school. We had a ton of athletes that weren't major Division I level kids, but definitely young men that could play college football. I'm a former Division III football player at a very competitive Division III school on the East Coast, and I remember just, seeing the skill set and the ability that the kids I played with were in comparison to the Division I guys. We may not have the freakish athleticism, but we had a lot of the skill set and a lot of the ability and, the talent and skills it took to be competitive at a high level just maybe didn't match up with the pure athleticism, size, speed, agility that some of the guys at the Division I schools had. But the kids that I knew at my school reminded me a lot of myself and a lot of the athletes that I played with in college, where they were great young men, highly skilled, and just not the highest level athletes. And they needed help to play at the next level. And I was tirelessly filling out spreadsheets and sending out random emails and calls and just trying to get and connecting with these college coaches around the country of schools that I knew of. And I've learned, as I go on, I'll talk more about it, but I learned through that process how many colleges were out there that offered athletics. And so finding out about field level, learning about field level from our CEO really solved a pain point for me. I immediately jumped on, started connecting with college coaches nationwide, and I started promoting my athletes, and promoting is something that we'll talk about later, promoting my athletes to colleges around the country. And sure enough, athlete after athlete, they were getting their profile viewed. I was getting colleges contacting me, asking me more questions about my athletes, and ultimately getting my athletes placed in colleges. And nothing's more is more proud for a coach than obviously to watch these young men become great men as they get older, but also just to see them go to college, play the sport they love, while getting a great education and getting some of that school paid for along the way. So it is a great tool. And again, we'll go through more of the reasons why is that. Some information about us. We serve baseball, softball, football, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's soccer, and men's and women's lacrosse. I'm assuming many of you are a parent and are an athlete, part of one of those sports. Our network has 61,000 teams, 87,000 plus coaches, 340,000 plus athletes, and then 57,000 plus commitments. And I really think that's actually a low number. We've probably got a whole lot more on there. How does field level work? So real quick, and again, I'm going to breeze through this portion. College coaches are our first group. They sign up, they add their staff. So it's not just a head coach, it's their assistant coaches as well. They connect with coaches around the country at the club and the high school level. They can search for athletes, they post recruiting needs, and then they get recommendations to them through their connections on the system through their high school and club coaches. High school and club coaches are our next group. They also sign up. They add their staff. They connect with college coaches around the country. They add and certify their athletes. We'll talk a little bit about the certification process later. They collaborate with their athletes and parents like yourself, and then they communicate with you guys along with the college coaches around the country to really bring everyone together in the recruiting process. And then lastly, our parents and athletes. So that's you guys. You guys will sign up. You'll connect with your coach reference. Actually, references, you're able to have more than one. We'll talk about that later. You guys build your free profile, build out your free target school list, track your college activity, and then you're able to communicate not only with the college coaches that are in communication with you, trying to recruit you, but also you're constantly in communication with your high school and club coaches. Really, at our core, field level is a tool to bring people together and really bring that communication and the community together around the recruiting process. We have a premium plan. It is not necessary to get success on field level. We'll talk about premium later, but there is a premium plan. Not mandatory, but it does really open up some things within our network. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So first, I want to jump into our first way you and your athletes, you parents and athletes, can work with your coach in recruiting. And the first one is for you to tell your coach, to inform your coach that you want to play at the next level. Many times college or your high school or club coach doesn't quite know which athletes want to play. Sometimes they're really good and really organized about asking their athletes, sometimes not. But it's important for you, the athlete, and you, the parent, to get that message across to them that you want to play. What that does is that puts you at the forefront of their mind when it comes to recruiting. It gives them the opportunity to be your your champion in that, to push you, to motivate you, to inform you, to really motivate you and get you ready for that next level. That means they may push you harder. They may try to constantly make sure that you're aware of what it takes to play at that next level. That may be hard on some athletes, but really they're going to be doing that for your best interest to get you ready for the world of college sports, which is a lot different than high school, where college athletics is basically a part-time or sometimes a full-time job with all the practice meetings and different things going on as you're a student athlete at the college level. So making sure they know will be your first step in helping yourself get to the next level. I'm going to jump into some of the demo here within our site. First, we're going to get out of there. First, we're going to get to an athlete's page. Okay, so what you're going to do when you sign up as an athlete and a parent, you'll sign up, you'll get on, and then you will attach yourself to a team. And you can, and the way you can do that is right here under the teams area. You can edit here, click the edit button, and add that team. You can also on the right hand side here see that this athlete, and I'm in a demo account that we've got under a women's volleyball account. So what you can see here is there's two teams. At field level, we believe that and we're going to talk about this a bunch, that the high school and club coach is the most impactful resource and recommendation for you, the athlete. And we want you to have as many voices advocating for you as possible. So you're able to connect to multiple teams. So many of you are probably a club athlete or a parent of a club athlete and who's also playing at the high school level or vice versa. So we want you to have the ability to have both your high school teams and your club teams, your coaches on field level, and you're on their recruiting roster, so they're able to be advocates for you. And the college coach can see more than just one evaluation about you. After that, you're going to go ahead and start completing your profile. This is where some of the basic information comes. On the left-hand side is all of your pertinent information, your age, your hometown, your height. Some sports will have weight on there. You'll be able to put, like I said, put your teams in, on court information or on field information, your positions. Again, I have volleyball up here, so dominant hand right here. So you know which hand they use to hit with is on here. But with football, there's a dominant hand. With baseball, there's batting and hitting. So there's different things that happen within each sport that we put information on here. There's your contact information, which is obviously important, and then we get down to the academics. Extremely important, especially for athletes that are entering their junior, senior year. This is when you become a really highly recruitable athlete. And this is when these coaches really starting to take a look and start forecasting you for their program. And they need to see that not only are you an athletic fit, but you need to be an academic fit for their university. So GPA, SAT, ACT, it's really helpful to put your major in there. Many colleges around the country have majors that they specialize in. And if they have a major that they specialize in that also matches up with your major interest, that really helps them know that they have a chance of recruiting you and trying to lure you into their school. Or, if they see a major that they don't have at all, they'll know that maybe you're not the right fit for them academically, and they won't spend as much time recruiting you. There's also honors and achievements, hobbies and interests, and then lastly, your parents and guardians. Again, so impactful, so important, not only for us at field level to communicate with a family and a potential recruit, but also for the high school coach to see that and be in contact with them, and for the parent to help the athlete along the process in keeping everything organized. Next is this middle area. This is where you're able to update and put a timeline together. And the most impactful thing in this centerpiece here of the profile is film. I am a high school coach. I am friends with tons of college coaches. I've been in the sport for a long time, and it is film, film, film. We hear it all the time at field level. They need to see more film. They're going to get an evaluation and a recommendation from your coach, but they need to see it as well. They need to see it as truth. And college coaches want to see a progression of not only your highlight films, your game films, but also some of your skills. There are some attributes within each sport that, like in volleyball, what can you touch? In basketball, how high can you jump? In football, how truly fast is your 40? There are things that they want to see that can really help them validate some of the information that they're receiving, and they can see it with their eyes if they're able to see it on film, and they're able to see it with their eyes from any part of the country because they're able to go into your profile and see that. So all you need to do is, whether it's Huddle or YouTube or another platform that your team or you store film, or your software system that you guys store film and you edit your game film, your practice film, whatever the case may be, you go ahead and use the link from that page, and then you can copy and paste it in this area here where my cursor is moving around. So you can go ahead and put that in there, and it automatically uploads to a box much like this, where coaches are able to watch that film straight from your profile. So they're able to see all of your pertinent information along with your film all right in one place. Okay, next up is our second way that parents and athletes can work with their high school and club coach, and that is getting on the same page with your coach. And how do you do that? That's by having a meeting. You guys need to have a real talk with your high school and club coach about your desires in recruiting. Not only does it continue to reinforce our first clue into that is that they know you want to play. Now you guys are going to have a meeting with that coach to have a real conversation about multiple things that are really important to the recruiting process. You want to talk to them about the geographic location where you'd like to play. Maybe you need to be in the warm weather. You don't want to go anywhere with cold weather, or vice versa. Or maybe you really want to be somewhere with seasons. Whatever the case may be, being able to tell that coach parts of the country that you're willing to move to and live in is really important. And it's important for you parents to be part of this as well, because some of you might need your athletes close by. Maybe you want to keep them in a region, whatever the case may be. You want to talk to those coaches that are doing this recruiting for you about this information. Next, target schools. I'll show you our target school list in a little bit, but being able to build out a list of schools and you can let your coach know where you're interested in going is really helpful for that coach to know where to promote you, where to recommend you, who to get in contact with at the college level of where you can go. Next is level of play. And this is going to be probably the toughest part of the conversation. And this is where a high school athlete and a high school and club coach need to be on the same page when it comes to what level of play they can actually play at, and if making sure that they're on the same page with each other. I remember as a young athlete, and I might be dating myself a little bit here, but I thought I was going to be the next Joe Montana. For those of you who know who he is, the now arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't need to get any Tom Brady comments in the chat here, but I thought I was going to be the next great quarterback of all time. I realized around 16 years old that wasn't going to happen, and I needed to know where I could play at. And this is really important for both the athlete and the coach to be on the same page, where you want to make sure that you're putting the effort in to schools that you have a real opportunity to play at. I'm not trying to be a dream killer. Coaches out there aren't trying to kill dreams either, but it's a good opportunity to have a real conversation about levels of play, what it truly takes to play at the different levels of play, different conferences in each sport, and what would be a good fit for the athlete. So both the coach and the athlete and also the parent are all on the same page about where the athletes can and will be promoted to and have the ability to play at. So very important. And then lastly is finances. We all think, and this isn't the time to talk about this, but many people think that every college can give out, lots of scholarships. Full ride scholarships are not the most common thing that you may think happens. It's primarily to the major Division I's, and there's only so many available. And so there's lots of partial scholarship, half scholarships, academic financial aid, grants, and different things that happen within the universe of college sports that you need to talk to your coach about, and you need to inform that coach about what you might be willing to contribute financially for your athlete's future. Again, that can be a tough part. You don't have to show them your tax return or anything like that. You don't have to give them the details of your finances, but just letting them know what you might be able to pay going forward in college will help them know what would be a good fit for a school that can offer, whatever that case may be when it comes to a financial aid package. This brings me to number 3 on how you can work with your coach in the recruiting process, and that is research your colleges. And you can research colleges in many ways. One, you can go on Field Level, and you can click here on the college area. And again, I'm in an athlete's account. We've got a multiple drop-down menus here on the left-hand side, or you can filter through things like setting, tuition, school size, location geographically, and then we'll bring you some good options for you to take a look at. I have learned through the years of playing high school football, playing Division III football, coaching high school football for many years, and now working at Field Level, that there are so many colleges out there in this country, and every single day, through all the years that I've been a part of football and high school and college athletics, I learn about a new school every single day. And this is a great tool for you to learn about many colleges that you may have not heard of before either, that offer a great academic environment and offer the sport that your athlete plays. So you can go ahead and use this to help, and then you can go ahead and also go online and search for colleges that you're interested in. By doing so, this lets your college know, your coaches know at the high school and club level that you're putting the effort in. And I can speak for myself, and I think I speak for most coaches because I talk to many of them every day. They want to work for the athletes that are putting in the work themselves. If they're doing everything, if they're holding your hand, they will do it. Many of them will do that, but they really want to. They'll put that effort in, that extra effort in. For those of you who are showing the desire to put it in themselves, so you can go ahead and search those colleges, and then by doing so, you can start building out your target school list, which is right here under My Targets. And what I can show you here is this is a list of target schools that this athlete has, and it goes all the way down to 23. Yep, 23 right here. But you can add as many as you'd like. And as I'm assuming you parents out there, you athletes out there, you guys are constantly, having different ideas. You've changed your mind. You parents probably changed your mind about where you wanted to go to school when you were younger. You guys probably had conversations with your kids and your student athletes about where they want to go to school at a certain point. And those ideas may change as things happen within their lives, as you guys learn more about schools, whatever the case may be. We want to have the place where athletes can organize their college interests, that not only they can stay organized, you as parents can stay organized, and then the coaches can see what's going on with the athlete and what the parents are expecting about college targets. And so, and again, this is a great thing to start putting together after you've had that tough meeting with your coach. So right here, like I said before, a lot of changing of minds as the process goes. And in the target school list, you're able to move things around. As a school becomes higher on the list, you can move it up, you can move it down. You can keep your parents, and then also your high school and club coach up to date by either moving it from just being a target school to that school is now in contact with you. They're now offered you, or also and then ultimately committed. So you guys can stay organized that way, and then your coach will know that you're organized and constantly researching and working. Next up, our fourth way for you to help your coach in the recruiting process and stay connected in the recruiting process is constantly keep them updated on what's going on with you in the recruiting search and your recruiting goals. Who are you in contact with? Who's contacting you? What schools you're targeting? These are all things that, again, like you can do with this area here with the target school list, and then just keep your profile updated. Let your coach know that you added film. Let your coach know that maybe you'd like to get a new evaluation written, and the evaluation portion isn't able to be seen by athletes and parents, but just making sure that high school and club coach is promoting you, that you've got your list up to date, so they're working for you guys going forward. Next is, how do athletes, and this isn't a step in, this isn't one of the ways yet, I'll get to that, and the fifth one is coming here soon, but many people want to know, how are athletes found on Field Level? And there are two ways to do that. And the first is searching. So I'm going to go to another demo account here, and this is a college account. This is a junior college account. And interesting thing about college coaches at the junior college level are they are both coaches that are recruiting into their program and then using Field Level to help their athletes find a 4-year home afterwards. So they're recruiting in and then sending out. So I'm going to go and show you a portion of their their page as a recruiting coach, and what they're able to do is go search for athletes. So the number one way for athletes to be seen is to be searched. And so I'm going to the search page here. Coaches are able to go into the filter menu. They can put in grad class, or what division their high school or club coach projected them to play at, the position they're looking for, height, weight. This is a baseball coach, so they've got batting and throwing on here. GPA scores, they can filter it down by GPA, SAT scores. That's really important for a lot of schools. Location in the country, because some coaches have a geographic responsibility for recruitment, and some college coaches have a positional responsibility for recruiting. And then they're able to use the filter, and then that'll spit out a bunch of athletes for them to take a look at and search for. The second way, and the most in Field Level's opinion, and it shows in our data, that the most impactful way for an athlete to be found on Field Level and to be seen by college coaches is when their high school coach promotes their athletes to the college coaches in their network. And I'm going to go here to promotion. So this coach, like I said, also has a roster of athletes that he's trying to get sent on to their four-year school. So he'll go ahead and go to the word promotions here. He's got athletes on his recruiting roster. I'll click promote. I'll find here, I'll go to Matt Jones as my athlete, and then I'll add recipients. That means I'll be able to add coaches in the network that I want to promote to. Again, we use this demo account a couple times here, so I'll just show how it works here. So I'm going to go ahead and add these coaches to the promotion I'm going to send. We're going to be done adding. We've already got an evaluation written about them. Again, this is a privatized evaluation that only the high school and the club coach will write out. They can see the evaluation. The college coaches can see the honest evaluation, but athletes and parents cannot see it. Don't worry. Don't let that be an issue. I have been in this with this company for almost 2 years, and I have not seen a bad evaluation of an athlete once. There's never any negativity. As a coach myself, we don't do this for money or anything else. And we're doing this because we love the kids, we love our sport, and we're always trying to help them. So we're always trying to make sure we shine a good light on our athletes. But they can write that evaluation that's already in there, and then we can write something extra here in this box. Then we go ahead and send that promotion to those college coaches that are in the package here that we're sending off to. So those are the two ways: being searched and promoting. And that's what my fifth one was, and I guess I skipped over that by accident. But our fifth way for you, parents and athletes, to help your coach in recruiting, to connect with them in recruiting, is by leaning on them for those promotions and those introductions. And we, again, at Field Level, know to be true that the coach is the most impactful person in the recruiting process. Many of the other recruiting services out there are either a do-it-yourself service where they just bombard you with a bunch of email contacts of college coaches and phone numbers to go do it on your own, or a sales agency concept where, some guy or gal will say for a hefty fee, they'll be your athlete's sales rep, and in the end, they're just going to, blast them with emails or phone number or phone calls. And really, we know that college coaches want to hear from their counterparts at the club and high school level. They value their opinion the most, and this is going to be the most impactful way for your athletes to get that notice, that exposure around the country, and the best chance for them to get to the next level. So the next thing I'll talk about real quickly as I'm rounding this out is our premium plan. I want to go through this quickly again. You guys can find the premium plan. I'm going to go to an athlete's page here, top right-hand corner, go to here, that little green shield, that means our Field Level premium area. You can go down and learn more about our premium plan. There is a video here that I encourage you to take a look at, but I'm going to go through the core 4 things that I really like to talk about when it comes to our premium plan. And the first thing is the ability to see recommendations. We have a recommendation portion of our site that is kind of locked up for athletes using the free model, but it opens up when athletes are using the premium plan. We then provide, based on information and data that we have from your coach and from you, the athlete that you filled in, great recommendations for you, kind of like Netflix. If you watch this show or this movie, Netflix starts showing you a bunch of different shows and movies that might be a good fit for you. We do the same thing based on our algorithm, and it provides a lot of information for colleges and for you, you parents, you athletes, and the coaches to take a look at, and more ideas for you to dig into when it comes to options to go into for college. Next is the ability for coaches to promote to anybody in the network. So let's say a coach the coaches on the system, they have 100 connections and their athlete is using the free field level plan. They can promote that athlete to anybody within their connection base. So that 100, if the athlete turns their account onto premium, that coach will then be able to promote the athlete to anybody in our system. So their 100 connections turns into 5,000 connections based on the sport. And obviously that means if your coach is able to promote your athlete to more schools around the country, your athlete will then in turn have more opportunities to be seen, more opportunities to be followed, more opportunities to be connected with college coaches around the country, and ultimately get those offers. Next is communication. We know, like I've already talked about, that colleges want to hear from their high school and club counterparts about the athlete. And once they know, see, and trust that evaluation and that recommendation, they still want to know that the athlete wants to go play there as well. They want to make sure, just like everybody else in the world, we all want to be wanted. And that college coach wants to make sure that they're going to now pursue the athlete that is truly interested in them as well. So with our premium plan, that unlocks the ability for the athletes to send a letter of interest to their colleges on their target school list, and they can do 3 of those. And that answers 2 questions. One, why they want to play for that program, and why they want to live in that area geographically. So for instance, a college coach in Wisconsin, if he or she is recruiting an athlete in the Southern California area, they want to know that they're ready for the cold. If they're not going to be ready for that, or they're not interested in that, maybe it's not a good fit. Or vice versa, a cold weather city to a hot weather city, big town to a small town to a big town. You guys get the drift. So really important for those college coaches to see that the athlete also wants to go there, and so we open that ability up. The rules around that are you get 3 initial letters. All of those schools need to be on your target school list that you're writing the letter to. If the promotion goes to the college coach, they get the letter of recommendation they get the recommendation and promotion from the college or high school coach, along with the letter of interest from you and the athlete. And if they end up following you because of that, we'll open back up a letter for you to use that letter for another school on your target school list. And then lastly, my favorite thing as a coach, as an employee, what I think is the most impactful deal is seeing your activity. Right now, in the free platform, athletes, parents, coaches are all able to see that there is activity happening for the athlete, but it is very generic. It'll say things like a Division II school in Ohio is looking at this athlete's highlight film. But you want to know exactly what school is taking a look at them and how often and what they're really doing. So what happens within Field Level Premium is that opens up. You get to see the exact school that's looking, what they're looking at, and that gives you, the parent, you, the athlete, and the coach, ultimately, the ability to learn who's looking and then to either reach back out or be proactive. Maybe a school that found the athlete via their search feature. They find out about the athlete. You see that they're looking multiple times, and you realize, I've never heard of this school. Let me look into them. You realize that you're interested, and then your coach can be proactive about contacting them and getting that connection going. So those are my core 4 things that happen when premium is used. So what I'm going to start doing now is opening up for questions. I'm going to jump. It's going to be a little weird. I'm going to jump back to my webinar page. It's going to get away from this page here. You're going to see a weird tunnel thing, so I apologize as I go back and forth to read your questions. All right, and do me a favor, go ahead and write the question inside the questions area. I'm going to take the one question that's in the chat area first. Who can see the target school list? Athletes, parents, your high school club coach can see that. The college coaches can see that the athlete is targeting that school, but cannot see where they are on the list. So a school won't be, offended if they're only, number 5 on the list or something like that. They can go ahead and just know that they're being targeted, but not so much what number they're at. I'm going to go to the questions area now. All right. So, is it advantageous to have a large list of colleges and universities, or is a dozen target schools better? Uh, I would say, the more the better. I mean, you don't want to overdo it because you want to make sure you keep yourself organized, but you want to have a target school list of places that you truly believe you can play at. Maybe you want to have some like dream schools that you really want to go after, and then some of the more safe schools. And I know they talk about that a lot with kids going and applying for colleges, even at in the academic world, having those those dream schools, those safety schools. I would do something like that as well in field level, but really good to have that there and being able to, again, move those up and down based on who's interested in you, who you're more interested in, and so everybody can be on the same page. And then, yeah, Debbie, I see something about the sample of college coaches field level account that you were looking at. Yeah, we are on a. I was using in the app a demo account that we built up. So the pages look exactly the same, but we're not on an actual athlete or coach's page. Those are private, obviously, and we just build our own demo pages to do things like this. A question about 3 letters of interest in premium. So again, I know it might be a little confusing. So originally when you sign up for premium, the athlete is able to get 3 letters of premium. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this while this is on there so you guys don't see the tunnel screen. I know it's gonna be confusing back and forth, but those three letters of interest open up when you use premium, and you're able to then write letters of interest to the 3 schools of your choosing that are on your target school list. Now, when your coach promotes you to those schools, and those schools that you wrote a letter of interest to, in turn, follow the athlete, that letter now becomes open again for you to write another letter to another school. So as long as those schools that you're writing letters of interest to, in turn, start following you, you can continue writing letters of interest. What is our success rate in getting kids committed to universities? We've got over, the numbers that I put on our deck show 57,000 plus commitments on our system so far. I would go ahead and say that number is pretty low. We have many, many athletes that go, they use our system, they get tons of success, they commit, and they realize they commit, and they don't go back on and literally click the button that says commit and add their school. And so I think we've probably got thousands and thousands of more athletes that are committing through our platform. We hear success stories literally every single day of coaches all over the country, in the rural areas, big towns, you name it, we've heard it, of their athletes finding success on field level through their coach promoting them, and then ultimately those athletes finding opportunities. Sid, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by your question. We can follow up on our own together another time. Okay, so can an athlete search schools based on whether or not the school offers their interested educational program? Yeah, so you guys can search for schools based on majors. You can use that. You can do that in our search filter. I'm sorry. You can do that in the college area here. You can go to, I'm on the athletes demo page, colleges, and then search colleges down here, area of study. We have options here that you can go ahead and click that option so we can give you colleges that have that area of study. Good question. How are the schools rated? Excellent, high, medium, etc. Those are rated based on matches. So you guys, and again, I'm sorry I'm going flipping back and forth. I'm just trying to give you guys something a little better to look at here instead of that tunnel. The excellent, high, medium matches are based on what match either in the college area here. You can go and find these matches based on the criteria you put on the left-hand side. And then on our recommendation area, Again, this athlete's got a premium account, so you can see that this athlete's recommendations are on here. And then these are schools that are recommended this school based on the information we have on them. So these are all recommendations, and then it'll tell you what level of recommendations they are, either high, excellent, medium, so on and so forth. Club coach has a recruiting coordinator and coaches who should write the review of the player. I would say whoever's in charge of the field level account, whoever's going to be the best voice and advocate for that athlete and putting in the work, they can be the one that writes that letter. Again, we encourage that athletes are on multiple teams. So from there, they are able to have multiple coaches writing about them. These things can be written on their timeline. We recommend that if there's one team, if they're on one club and there's multiple coaches on that club, that they have that organized within their coaching staff who writes the actual evaluation, so they don't just overlap on each other. Cost for premium, good question. Didn't go over that. Thank you for reminding me. So we have multiple things with premium here. We have a monthly plan at $39 a month for you guys to pay for. There is also a annual pass that'll get you down to $31 a month if you do annual. But again, it's $39 a month. You can turn that on and off as you see fit, and that you can find that on the premium page. Again, go to here, click here, field level premium, and then you're able to go to the pricing area right here on premium. You can click that if you want to go annual or not, and then you can go to the plan page and start paying, go through the payment process that way. I did say that target colleges do not know which order number they are in. So yeah, so Cheryl, they will know that they are being targeted. They are able to search for athletes that are targeting them, but they will not see that they are only number 12 on their list. They'll just know that that athlete is targeting that school. John, let me see here. Oh, okay, John. Okay, so your question is, how far in advance do college coaches typically offer spots to incoming athletes? That depends on the school, the program, what level they're in. Sometimes the major Division I schools, stuff that we probably hear more about and some comes across our radar, are out there, offering scholarships to kids as young as, depending on the sport, 6th grade, 7th grade. And then up to to the Division III schools where they're waiting more along the lines of like the late junior year or senior year. It all depends upon the sport, that culture, and the vision and level that the coaches are coming from at that college level. Hope that answered. How many Division I football programs are using field level to find athletes percentage-wise compared to D1, D2, D3, NAIA? Mark, I can't give you an exact answer on that right now. If you'd like to contact me, we can dig into that more. It's really about who decides to use our platform based on what they're looking for. Again, the major Division I football program, I'll just throw out a random program like Michigan. They've got the funds to fly around the nation to find athletes, where a Division II school, maybe out of the state of Michigan, doesn't have that ability. So using field level is highly impactful for them in finding athletes for their program nationwide. Ray, we talked about premium. That's $39 a month for premium. Again, you can knock that down to $31 a month if you sign up for our annual plan. Mr. Litter, what should an athlete do once they are followed, and how soon should they respond to a college coach? I recommend that you respond to a college coach immediately. Whether you're interested, if you somehow get in contact with a college coach, whether you're interested in that school or not, respond to them. If you've never heard of that school, look into them. Don't dismiss any program. Don't dismiss any college. I think that's a good life lesson for young people, that they should always respond respectfully, and respond after some research first. but always get back to them as soon as possible. Keep in contact. Make sure you keep that line of communication open. Whatever the case may be, you never know. If things fall through on some of your dream schools, and you might have to go fall back to a school that you may not have been as interested in the beginning. Or the more you learn about that school, the more you get interested about it, or you learn about it in another way, and you go, shoot, I should have been more diligent about my research about that school instead of just letting it go and not responding. So make sure you guys are definitely responding back to all college coaches communicating with you. Should I be listed as a primary contact from or my son? A school contacted them directly, and I'm wondering if I should contact them back, or should my son? I would. So Steve, I would definitely have your athlete should be the direct contact. Again, you're going to be involved with this account, which is what we very much encourage. This is a big reason why we're doing this webinar directed towards athletes and parents. But you're the guiding. You're their parent. You're in or guardian. You're the one that's helping them along the way, along with their coach, making sure that they're responding to people. It is hopefully you and your coach with your athlete have a good relationship, and you guys are on that young person and making sure that they are getting back to coaches immediately. And if maybe you need to help, write that letter or write that email back or write that message back within our messaging platform, because we do have a messaging platform in our system here. Then go ahead and do so. Maybe you need to spell check it, grammar check it, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and make sure that they are doing that. And again, here's the area here for messages. This is an area where now athletes are being contacted by colleges and also their coach at the high school or club level. Someone asked about our algorithm about matching. That is based on the information that your athletes put in about school interest, where they're looking to go, kinds of schools, divisions that they want to play at, and then the projection that your coach puts in about the athlete. What is the best form of response, and what should the athlete state in their response? We have a messaging platform in our system. You guys can use that and message these coaches back immediately. So I'm going to jump into here. So it looks like a coach contacted our demo account here, and you can go ahead and write that reply there. What you say is, we aren't a service that is telling you what to say to coaches. We can give some basic advice, but again, you should always be responding to college coaches contacting you. It's an honor to play at the college level, no matter what that level is. And any coach that contacts you, you should be responding back to them kindly, respectfully, and with some information about their school, whether you are interested or whether you're going to respectfully decline. Good question here. Do the college coaches deal with the high school coach first before contacting an athlete, or are they dealing directly with the athlete only? So, Robert, great question here. The high school and club coach is the gatekeeper. We keep them at the center of this entire process. And when a college coach is interested in an athlete, they will ask that coach, either if they find him through search, they're able to then ask that coach, hey, I just searched your athlete, found out about him or her. Can I take a look at a deeper look at your athlete? Can you tell me more about them? They may have some questions about their character, about their off-season work ethic, their leadership abilities, maybe how they deal with their teachers, or how they treat their boyfriend or girlfriend on campus. Whatever the case may be, they want to learn those things. And they'll ask the coach first, and then they'll go ahead and ask for the high school and club coach to release the contact information for the athlete, which then allows the college coach to contact the high school athlete. Do college coaches have to pay to be part of the program? No. All colleges do have access to field level. So again, someone's asking, Sid, you're asking about contact levels or times of contacts contact levels. That's football speak. Sorry about that. At times of contact periods, dead periods, quiet periods, things of that nature, the NCAA. You can go ahead and look on the NCAA website regarding that. We also have some blogs about that in our system that you guys are able to go to and read more about that. I would definitely be in communication with your coach at the high school or club level about times to speak to the college coaches and those quiet or contact periods. Oops, sorry about that. How is video made into a highlight? The way that highlights are made is through whatever platform you guys use for that. We don't have the ability on field level to build highlights. We're able to put those highlights on their profile and their account. But again, you're gonna have to go ahead and either create those highlights on your own. I know Hudl has ways you can splice and edit those highlight films. I'm assuming there's multiple platforms out there for that. At the moment, field level doesn't have that, but it is something that we are very interested in and something that we're looking into. All right, Ray Williams Sr., are you guys able to get help from us? Absolutely. So again, here's my name, my title, and here's my contact information, jfrench@fieldlevel.com. That's my business cell. You're able to call or text me on that anytime you'd like. You also have the ability to contact us at support@fieldlevel.com. Again, support@fieldlevel.com. And I can show you here in the athletes page. You can go to this right-hand corner here, and you can go to schedule a free demo where me or another person on our team is more than happy to help you guys out, do a inside demo, answer any questions free of charge. We're happy to help, and we love doing it. Okay, well, it looks like we're coming to a close here as I don't see any more questions in either one of the areas here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my contact info here. Please feel free to write this down, call me, email me, text me, whatever. We're always here to help. The entire team at Field Level is passionate about what we do and the network that we're creating and the environment and this culture of coaches communicating, connecting, and then ultimately the goal is helping athletes find opportunities to play at the next level. I knew it was a huge impact in my life. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and we're really glad that you guys joined us. Again, hit us up anytime. We're happy to help, and I really hope that you guys have a great evening. Thank you.